Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video is going to be a video pretty much just discussing Formica species. The discussion is going to be more or less about these guys, biology, just stuff like that, just general facts about them, mainly focusing on the parasitic type. This is a part of hopefully a new series, possibly not, depending on how this goes. It may just be a one-off thing on how you guys like to hear about specific ant species and ant genuses and stuff like that. Kind of like my care guide videos, but not really, just more informational and all. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy and like the video and all that fun stuff, and yeah, I guess let's get on with it. Formica, the species that is oftentimes mistaken for fire ants within my local area, but are in reality not invasive, completely chill, and are actively helping out our environment. The Formica genus is kind of split into three different areas. So first you have the temporary parasites like Formica obscuripes, which is on the screen right now. You have the parasitic species, or the fully slave maker species, that are not temporary parasites and heavily rely upon their slaves. And then you have the fully claustral, non-parasitic Formica species. Now, these three groups pretty much make up all of Formica, all of which show pretty interesting traits among each other. So, first, we're going to talk about the most impressive, and that is the temporary parasites that exist in Formica. Generally speaking, when people say the temporary parasites of Formica, they're talking about Integra group, which is what this species Formica obscuripes is a part of. They could also be talking about Execta group Formica, which is what Formica ulci and Formica exectoides are a part of. Most of the species within the Integra group and Execta group Formica in Wisconsin are in fact polygynous, and polygynous to an extreme. These species are known for having hundreds of queens in one nest, and normally having more than one nest, controlling huge swaths of areas. Because of how just widespread they are within areas that they can control, you will oftentimes find them trailing like this. Oftentimes just going to just random places, whether it be aphids, or to a food source, or just leaving to go out foraging. You will just have huge areas of just workers looking around for food. As you can see here, this is only a few feet away from the nest, and you can see that there is quite a few workers just going off to go ahead and look for food. But the trails are not the only impressive part about these colonies. As you can see here, their nests are oftentimes completely covered in workers, to quite a large amount. These workers are mainly just protecting the nest and also building up what you can see there as their thatch. Now this thatch seems to be made up of pine needles and dead grasses, seeing as in that is what they can find within their area. Now sometimes with Formica obscuripes, their nests can either be a little bit lower to the ground or pretty dang big. Most of the time they're kind of in the medium size, where they aren't like absolutely massive like Formica exectoides, but they also aren't really small like Formica obscuriventris, which we will get to in a later bit of this video. Formica obscuripes is one of the most defensive and aggressive ant species within northern Wisconsin by far. They will defend their home and everything, or like literally nothing. A simple breath will cause them to go absolutely insane and start attacking you. This aggression comes in, great favor for them, because it makes it so that if they get attacked by something like a bear or anything like that, it makes it so that it is a kind of a deterrence for the animal that is attacking them. As I showcase here, as I try to get them to attack me, you can see that they are kind of more or less defensive. It was only until I actually touched the nest that they started to really attack me hard. Now mind you, today is a day where it was very, very muggy out, the sun wasn't really out, and they didn't really have the type of heating that they would normally have, so their attack was a little bit more on the calmer side than what it would be. Formica obscuripes have quite a powerful bite, although it doesn't look like it on here. That bite kinda hurt. It was more or less just a little bit of a pinch, but if they're able to actually get a little micro cut in there, they can spray acid into the bite. As you can see, the worker behind the front one is actively trying to do there. So what exactly is the benefit of this species? Well, the benefit of this species is that they really do a great job at turning soil. Like, they do an extreme amount of, like, good turning the soil like this. They will make it so that it's easier for the roots to get water because of how big their nests are and how diverse their chambers are. It affects a ton of plants. They also get rid of woodland pests for the most part, besides for aphids, and also pests within the field itself. These guys do a great job at clearing out because of the fact that they eat so much. Like, they eat an insane amount of food every day. These ants make it truly difficult for any type of large outbreak of pests to happen within the areas that they are because of the fact that they control them so well. Anyways, let's go ahead and shift our focus over to a different integra group species, Formica obscuriventris. This species is actually rather unique with how they make their nests, as in that they have normally low thatch and they make their nests often built up onto something or they nest inside of something like wood. As you can see, there is not that much thatch even really at all on their nest there. In fact, actually, it was just a little piece of wood and then maybe a tiny hill of thatch. And this isn't even the main part of the nest either. All those workers were just hiding under a very tiny part of it. Alongside that, as you can see, they do have polymorphism within their workers, which means pretty much just different sizes of workers. This log here is actually their main nest. This entire log is probably completely infested with them, completely all throughout it. As you can see, there is evidence of this by the fact that there is thatch actually on and inside of the log. Now, Formica obscuriventris, they are known to have many queens, like in the hundreds as well, and their colonies are known for taking over entire forests or entire fields of just them. They make up huge parts of the biomass in areas that they are found normally, besides for this area where there's only maybe a couple of colonies within an area. For those of you who have watched the Anting in Northern Wisconsin Season 1 videos, you know that pretty much anywhere where I normally find them, they are everywhere. They are the only ant that I find within an area. It is absolutely insane. These guys pretty much fill the exact same role that Formica obscuripes do in areas that they are found as well. Pretty much just really good pest cleanup, good at aerating soil, all that fun stuff. Although I personally do believe that in the areas that they control, they are truly the thing that make that area how it is. I think that they are a keystone species in areas that they are found, definitely. Now let's talk about flights between obscuripes and obscuriventris, because that is one important thing as an ant keeper that you should know about if you ever want to keep this species. If you want a more in-depth guide about how to keep parasitic Formica, I did in fact make a tutorial talking about how to take care of them and raise them on a video in my tutorials playlist that I'll probably have linked down below, because that is some pretty interesting stuff to get their colony started. Anyways, let's start talking about their flights. So first things first, what you need is rain. Any type of rain, hopefully a large downpour that comes from some sort of thunderstorm or just a long day of constant rain. Following the storms or heavy rain, you're going to want to hope for the following morning to be pretty warm, like within 65-70 range. You're also going to want to have rather low wind, which oftentimes does happen during the mornings, but you just want to make sure that that wind is low. From here, you wake up at around about 4 in the morning and head out to your area, and then wait until around about 5 a.m. until the obscuripes fly, or the obscuriventris. Obscuripes' flight pattern is really neat because normally they go into a specific area to go ahead and mate, and then they come back or fly around until they find a good place to land, and then they break off their wings to go infiltrate an ant colony. Obscuriventris, on the other hand, they do not do this. They instead just fly, find a mate, break off their wings, and then go off and try to find a colony to invade. Now, another good thing to note is that their flight times, like in the year, is different. So Formica obscuripes, they're going to fly in April to maybe, let's say, May, while the obscuriventris are going to fly anytime from mid-June into late July. The queens will oftentimes look like their workers almost to the exact size, so of course you have to look out for the obvious stuff such as wing scars and just basic ant keeping, stuff. This is true also with slave-making Formica as well. You have to really look out for those wing scars, otherwise it is very hard to tell if a queen is in fact a queen and not a worker. If you're wondering what I'm doing in the video, you know, poking at them, I'm trying to get them to spray acid at me for the video, but they just weren't agreeing with me and not wanting to do it, so yeah. So this next bit is going to be a little bit shorter because I didn't really record much of the colony, but this is Formica. This is a Formica claustral species. As you can see, they are black. They fly around about like 12 p.m.-ish, or morning time. Real easy to catch. Big black queens. Honestly, there's not really much to talk about because they're kind of boring. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to know about them. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe if you're new. I know this is a little bit of a new type of video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit on the longer side of content as well. It was kind of fun to actually make the video though. I actually rather enjoyed myself making this one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you dislike it, subscribe if you're new. Discord server and the Patreon and all that fun stuff will be in the description. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.